Good afternoon, and today we're going to be making a yeast starter for our brew kit, which we'll be brewing on Saturday. So on Saturday we're going to brew this German alt beer, and we're going to get a yeast starter going with the yeast packet from the kit. The yeast starter, once we start that will help aid in fermentation. It'll ferment quicker. We're going to use a little rye malt extract, a little DME, so probably about a half cup of DME to 2 cups of water in this pot. We'll get that going. Then we will sanitize our equipment. This is what I'm going to have my yeast starter going in, and I'm going to preferably do it full 48 hours. So it's like a little fermenter, right? So we got to sanitize all that. Today I'm using IO Star. Iodine. I like Sandstar better, but they didn't have it, so I'm using this. Be careful with this and mix it to the right ratios. It's an ounce. 1 ounce is 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to start that in my fermenter. I double my fermenter as a sanitizer. We'll get that going. I only put 1 in there because I'm only planning on putting 2.5 gallons of water in. Alright, so now we're going to make our we got to have something for the yeast to eat. So we're going to start our, almost a wort for our yeast starter. 2 cups of water here. Okay. Put a half cup of this DME in there. And this, I use the same DME for multiple starters, but you just tape it up and it's good. It's just, you don't want it to sit around for too long, but oops, wasting DME. Okay, so put that in there. Here, this on the stove. Start this. We're going to want to simmer this for 5-6 minutes. You get it to a boil and let it go for a couple minutes, 5-6 minutes. Then we need to let it cool, probably 70 degrees before we pitch our yeast. Okay, so now that my DME has been boiled for a couple minutes, the temperature is down to below 70 degrees where I want to pitch my yeast. I'm going to take this, put my thermometer back in the sanitizer. I'm going to take this and I'm going to pour this into my jug. And my funnel's a little big. So I've sanitized my funnel, I've sanitized my bottle. DME is the right temperature. Take this off. I've also sanitized my scissors. So that's very important because you're going to cut the corner of this yeast packet, and if they're not sanitized, you could transfer bacteria. Pour my yeast in here very slowly so it goes down in. You get one of these dry yeast packets and they're not vacuum sealed, don't use it. I had that happen to me once. Ends up being contaminated. Okay. Stir this around a little bit. This is a number 6 stopper on a 1.5 liter jug. I believe this is an old wine jug. Put that down in there. Slosh this around a little bit. I'm just trying to I got some stuff stuck on the neck of the bottle. I just want to get it wet without getting down into the. Stir that up really well. We have our hydrolock, which I will fill with a little bit of water. Just in the line. Probably should be doing this with sanitized water. If I'm careful, it'll be fine. Cap this on here, stir this around, put this on the counter for 2 days before we pour this into our finished wort once we start our brew cycle with this German alt beer. Thanks for watching, please subscribe.